Okay, so this video is about confusion and this is why I personally feel confusion is satanic or whatever. Even though in the Bible or whatever it does say that Satan is the author of confusion or whatever. So we already know that anything associated with confusion is satanic. So we'll just say that. But the definition of confusion is being in a state of uncertainty or unclear or whatever. This is the reason why I say that a lot of people that practice in the dark arts and stuff like that breed confusion, while gang stalking is satanic and confusion and stuff like that. It's a lady on my Facebook page or whatever. I'm not gonna delete the video, but she was talking about how narcissists are the devil, covert, whatever. But I'm not even on that subject right now. What I'm talking about is what she said. When people are people of God, or just in general good people, which is associated with being connected to God, empathic or whatever. When you're a good-hearted person, and then people do stuff out the norm of something that you would do or whatever. Not saying that you're perfect, but when people do stuff that's completely doesn't make any type of sense, what happens is you sit there and think about it. And that's what she said. If you look on my page and go to that video I'm talking about, you'll see that she says it. So I'm just emphasizing on it because she's the first person that said that. I like to give credit, but I'm emphasizing because I've been through it too. When you sit there and have to think, like I just was talking to my grandmother this morning, just now. I just got off the phone with her. I've been off the phone with her about 20 minutes ago. But it's like I'm trying to explain to her what's going on with the gang stalking. Like I said before, people who haven't been through gang stalking or whatever, and hearing a person explain it, the first thing, especially if they're not really deep going into details about it, the first thing you're gonna think is the person is completely off their rocker. That's one thing I do like about tarot readers. They can explain why they're doing it and who's doing it or whatever, so people can get caught out on their bullshit. But to the average person or whatever, it doesn't make any type of sense that people would actually drive and try to figure out what you're doing. Even if a person is curious about you or whatever, or even if it's just some type of revenge, it doesn't even make sense for people to do that because it's like, just think about it in your average mind or whatever. And somebody's telling you people are following you every day and stuff like that, and then you're online spreading truth. Number one, the only thing you're gonna do, the first thing you're gonna do, if you've never been through it, is you're gonna discredit that person. Oh, you're gonna be focusing. Only thing you're gonna be hearing is a person saying people are following me every day, which is completely out the norm. So you're gonna automatically look at the stuff that they're posting and be like, oh, that's BS. They don't know what they're talking about because they're crazy or whatever. So that's one thing that I think why they do it or whatever is the spirits that get in them. Then you have to be low vibrational. You have to be completely low vibrational and soulless to even be taken over by a spirit to even do stuff like this, stalking and watching. And I don't care if it's like one day or whatever, if you just nosy, but for it's period people that have been gang stalked for years, they let you know that you have just completely been submissive and just completely let the devil take over. But anyway, anytime people do stuff and I have to sit and figure it out, anything that's not clear, they let you know that's of the devil because it's just certain things that people do that just don't make any type of sense to me. Even if you're curious about somebody, you want to know how much money they got, get to know a person and talk to them or whatever. And I'm not trying to be rude or whatever. I don't really want to get to know anybody, but especially like nobody that's been stalking me or anything like that. But it's just certain things that people do. You can be curious about a person all day, but it's like you inserting yourself into their life. That's very intrusive, or what, but secretly or whatever. So that's because the type of stuff that like get on my nerve for me to even try to figure it out. For me to explain it is confusion because I just don't understand why people would do something like that. I don't. One thing about me too that irritates me is, and it's one of the reasons why I kind of like don't like talking to my family. I don't talk to them, but when you try to explain it to people and people just be like, just ignore them, that make me think you work for the devil or whatever. Because or don't call the police, just let them do it. That really makes me think you work for the devil because it's like, just think about it. Put yourself in that position if you were just in your home. Especially, this is the thing that they do it to. They're not going to gang stalk. To me, this is just my opinion. I don't think they'll do it to families or whatever. I just don't see people doing it because it's like, when you're in a family situation and people can vouch for you, oh yeah, I've seen this too. They'll do it to people that are isolated by themselves, for people who have extreme intelligence level, especially people that are spilling truth and stuff like that on a platform, or just in general, people that's talking about real stuff or that's had a spiritual awakening. Because it's like, for them to do that, it's easy for them to discredit you. Because like I said, me from the outside looking in or whatever, it's just if I go back and listen to my stories about me saying this stuff, I know I'm telling the truth. But from the outside looking in, people are think that's not real or that didn't happen. So that's why I'm so strongly against people discrediting people. Me, I could look at a person online and tell if they're lying about being gang stalked. That don't have nothing to do with me being the know all be all. I can just tell if somebody online trying to be funny and stuff like that. Anybody who's really been gang stalked or whatever, you kind of have like you after being gang stalked for so long, it changes you or whatever because you see how ignorant people are and you see how intrusive people are. People trying to anybody has spell work done on them, left for dead, gang stalk, laughed at or whatever, all this stuff. It changes you and make you just be not trust people. You stop giving a fuck. You can't be empathic no more to the point where you're just like, oh, you're nice. You're still gonna be nice, but you just don't go out of your way to be overly kind and stuff like that. You don't put nothing past people, whatever. To people that's not awakened, it could turn them real mean and miserable and stuff like that. But it's like all you have to keep in your mind or whatever is that these people are the ones with the issues. Like they said, the Scorpio X or whatever wants me to lash out and go off and come. But the average person who's dealing with it knows that you can't really go off on somebody because you don't really know. You know who's doing it, but they're not showing their face or whatever. I told you little things, clues that he left before. If you've been following my story, I know that it's him. If you've been following me online on Facebook and if you've been following me on here, little things that he does or whatever. Like when I first moved here, I told you it was like you need to lock your window. And I went to my window was unlocked. Just little stuff like that. I told you one time I got in an argument with him on the phone. I know that he get loud. This must be. And I heard him outside. I baited him because I knew he was going to get loud. And I baited him. I heard him outside yelling. So I don't have to physically see you to know that you're doing it or whatever. And neighbors, it's just like people do weird stuff. That's why I was telling my grandmother, it's like, guys going to be silly. But that's not even an excuse. I'm not even giving that pass. But females, women, it's no way that me as a woman would ever gang stalk another female or do anything like that. Or just a woman in general. That's like extreme harassment, especially if I see the person who they doing it to. Now, if I was around here, like I see half dressed, always in people's face, walking around or all the other stuff and trying to get attention, then online talking about God and this and that. In general, that's not even an excuse to follow somebody. But if I was doing it, that's one thing or whatever. But in general, it's like you see somebody's energy. It's like, that's another second said too that I go to. She said, I don't understand why people would even do that to an energy like this. It's like you're trying to prove that you're better or trying to prove that somebody they're not who they say they are and trying to compete with somebody who's not even competing with you. That's another thing. I don't like people that compete or whatever. Anybody that kind of throws a sly mark or jealousy or that's somebody I can't trust because in order to even be the best. And it's not even about being the best, but in order to bring out all your talents and be the best, let's say the best person you can be, you can't compete with other people because that's like me seeing somebody who does music clipping videos or stuff or a spiritual teacher. And every time she go to her stuff, I'm like, let me do something a little better and bring it in. I can do it even better than her. You so focused on competing with somebody or try to stop somebody or outshine somebody that you can't bring out your full gifts and abilities. When people just it's like you can get inspired by people and stuff like that or cheer a person on, but you're not supposed to compete or whatever. I already told you how God feels about people like that. But it's like you cheer people on and you can that's how you can collaborate and you can bring out the best of your talents and skills. But you're not supposed to sit up there and just in your mind you're so strongly you're so strongly focusing on competing and not beating the next man that you just can't embrace your full potential in yourself or whatever. It's like, it's no way that if I even see somebody online that, as long as they're not copying or whatever, but if I see somebody online who got videos and stuff like that and doing it, I'm gonna be like, man, they talented. I might even share a video of them on my page or whatever. In the past, I kind of do that or whatever. If I see how people are or whatever, they be hating and jealous. It's like people need to stop trying to compete and be jealous and try to outshine the next man. When you do that, it's like God can't even use you in a certain type of way because he knows your heart or whatever. So let's just say people just do stuff that just like really irritate me. But anytime I gotta try to sit and figure out why people doing what they doing, why did this person do that, what's going on, that already let you know that you're dealing with the devil. It's a quote that I had found online the other day. And I put this in all aspects. It says if a person loves you, if a person truly loves you, you're going to know it. If they don't, then you're gonna have to question and wonder if they do. And that goes in I'm not fucking with that narcissist, fuck that, I'm not worried about that. This goes in everything. If a person messes with you, really screws with you, fucks with you the long way, excuse my language, you're gonna know this my dog. You ain't gonna even have to doubt it. If you have to question for a second, I wonder, because we've all been there, then that lets you know that that's a person that you can't fuck with or can't have around you. And every single person that is throwing a slick comment my way or did some shady stuff or whatever, I've ignored my intuition because it's like I would feel a little funny feeling, but I just ignore it and won't say nothing. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying, if a person ride with you, they ride with your person. If I ride for a person don't even have to question it. They know for a fact that I ride with you or whatever. If I don't, I'm going to let it be known. That's why I don't like people that say keep your enemies, keep your friends close or your enemies close or whatever it is. I don't believe in doing it. If I don't fuck with you or whatever, I want it to be known that I don't fuck with you. That way it won't be no underlining kind of confusion or whatever. I don't do stuff like that. Oh, I think that she working against me, so I'm just gonna act like I don't know and keep her around. Fuck it. You can't be around me, period, or whatever. I'm very blunt, straightforward. If I don't fuck with you, you're gonna know it, period. If I fuck with you, you're gonna know it. It is what it is. And that's the same way I want. If I do ever decide to associate with anybody again, that's the type of energy that I want around me. Let it be known that you don't fuck with me. I don't have time for no snaky stuff, no shaky stuff, none of that stuff. It's just, I'm just really solely focused on trying to be the best that I can be. And like I said before, that gang stalking, just knowing that energy was out there. They were doing that this morning. It's like it kind of fucks with you a little bit or whatever. It kind of, because you be kind of annoyed and agitated. It stops me from even wanting to go play. Even though I have a car, it stopped me from wanting to go to different places or whatever because I don't want these motherfuckers in my business. Yeah, I just don't want these people in my business playing games or whatever, being manipulative. That's satanic too. If you say you're gonna do something and you claim you real, do it. Don't play fucking games or whatever. There's no way around. I don't look at people as playing games and being childish or stuff like that. I don't look at that as, oh, that's just innocent or they're just, no. If I look at that as you're full of shit or whatever. One thing I don't like when people scream real or whatever and they do fake shit or whatever. That's on a whole, that's like those fake pastors that be up there. Not all of them, but the fake pastors that be up there and they be God this and God, but you know that you really just doing it to get money out of people. That's evil on a whole nother level. I don't like people that play games with me. If you know you doing something, if you know you're doing something or you doing manipulating somebody or playing games, and you know that on the flip side you don't want that done to you, and you still doing it anyway, then to let you know that you're a fake ass nigga and you work for the devil. Period. If you're doing something to somebody you know they don't want done to you, then nobody should even have to explain it or whatever. It's like that. It's just like it's starting to just agitate me or whatever. People purposely want to agitate you, and when you can't figure out why people doing it or whatever, and you know you wouldn't do it, that's when the confusion starts to breed in. So it's like I just want to make this little morning blog or whatever and talk about this, but it's just agitating. I just don't understand why somebody would put a calling me from a fake number. Anyway, I don't understand why people would put try to stop you being a completely whole different relationship, and or their girl or them trying to stop you from getting your real love or try to block your success. I'm just trying to figure. I can't understand why people would do this. Like me, if I know the narcissist, if I knew that narcissist in general, like I heard that he got a good job or something like that in the past when we went together, our car or whatever, and the Scorpio ex or whatever. I know he got a new relationship, even though they didn't treat me right. I can't picture myself doing a spill to try to break them, even though they hurt me or whatever. Do a spill to try to break up their relationships or stop their money and stuff like that. I can't even picture in my mind. That's not even in my heart to do nothing like that. Because it's like, just in general, like, even if I'm not thinking it in my mind, I just internally know that the Most High gonna handle it. That you can't get away with shit in this world or whatever. So maybe that's what makes me different from other people or whatever. But it's just, in general, I just don't understand why people would do that. You try to stop somebody from living in love and get to what God promised them, but what God has for them, they have for them. You could just slow down the process and then get karma back for that. But in general, it's like people do stuff and it's just, that's confusion because you don't understand why they do it, because you know you would never do it. So I don't know, like I said before, anybody that's bullshitting, playing games, you can't be around me or whatever. I'm not fucking with you no more. You can't be trusted or whatever. So I just want to say this. Just want to make this quick little morning message or whatever, because people do, it bothers me to know I live in a world with people like this. And let me go back and explain this. I know people like to run their mouth and speculate. They said somebody going through every video and trying to see if there's any kind of inconsistency in what I'm saying or whatever. That's why when I say something, sometimes I'll talk or whatever in the video, then I'll be like, oh, well, let me go back because I didn't mean that. I'll skip over my words, but like, let me say that. But overall, let me just say this. All I'm saying is that if you focus on your own life or whatever, you don't have time to worry about anybody else. When I say my soul is not of this world or whatever, I don't know if people think that I'm trying to say I'm a mystical creature that came down. No, when people, all empaths, true empath, true earth angels. If you just because you say you're an empath don't mean you're an empath, but if you're a true earth angel, then your soul is not of this world, because you don't, and you can already tell because they'll act in a way that's different from other people, especially Hayokas or whatever, especially Earth Angels. But people that are true people of God, they have, their hearts are different. That's why people look at them, oh, they nice, I can take advantage of them, or they'll look, or they don't know they're green, or it's like people will be curious about us because we act in a way that's abnormal to the average of humanity. But I'm not like no person that drop down, I can fly at night or nothing like that. Not no angel like that. Your heart, which means the pureness of your heart. You're truly one of God's chosen or whatever. So that's all I want to say or whatever. It's like, as you can see, I'm kind of agitated a little bit, but I just want to make this recent update.